welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, my name is Griselda. In today's video I am going to be showing you how to create this look. I wanted to do a evening fall makeup look for a while now, especially since I've been going to a lot of evening events, and I thought what a perfect opportunity to create this look. I'm going to be using some new products and old products that I've been stuck to and been loving lately. So if you want to see how to get this look, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to turn on your notifications so you get notified every single time I upload. And without further ado, let's get started with this video. Alright, so we are going to get into this tutorial. I've already moisturized my skin. We are going to move on to primer. We're going to be using my all-time favorite, the Silk Canvas by Tatcha. Just gonna focus that right in the center of the face. So for foundation, we're just gonna pick up a little bit of that Bounce foundation by Beauty Blender, and we are going to just apply it with a Beauty Blender. And I'm using the shade 3.75. I just love how this foundation just leaves your skin and it gives you that coverage that you want. It can be a medium to full coverage. I did get some color, so right now it looks a little light, but I'm gonna go ahead and warm that up with a bronzer. And I really like to work the foundation in, just blend it out section by section. I feel like the thing that I take the most time on is my skin. I have to make sure that I prep it, I moisturize it, I make sure that the foundation is spread out evenly. So for concealer, I'm going to be using the new Jouer Essential High Coverage Concealer. When I tell you this concealer is high coverage, you literally need a little bit. And what I'm doing is I'm just focusing in the inner part of the face. And this concealer also dries down a little quick, so you have to work a little faster than normal. To highlight, I'm just gonna pick up this Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light Neutral, and we're just going to dab that right on top of that other concealer. This one's a little bit brighter, so I like the brightness that it gives me after I set it. Then just again go in with that same Beauty Blender and just distribute the product. And sometimes when I do apply the setting powder, it kind of tones down the concealer so it's not as bright, so that's the reason why I like to use a really light one. You guys know I usually don't contour with any cream products, but I've really been loving this Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circles. I love the consistency and the applicator. This is in the color Hazelnut, and I just love how it warms up my skin. So I'm just gonna apply that where I would usually contour. And I'm gonna pick up this Smashbox blurring foundation brush, and we're just going to buff that in. This also brings that warmthness back to the skin. You guys will see it'll all come together once I've powdered my face. I know it looks pretty light on camera. Make sure you bring it into the hairline. And I love how this concealer gives you room to blend, because some of them tend to dry really fast, but this one just gives you enough time to blend. So for underneath my eye, I really have been loving the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking Setting Powder. I like mixing Pound Cake and Blondie. You don't have to use both of them. I just prefer to use it. The trick to mixing them is I pick up a little bit of the Blondie first, and then I go into the Pound Cake after, and then just press it on to a cap, and then I go in and press it in. Again, like I said, you don't have to do this. You can either use Blondie or Pound Cake on its own, but I like to mix both of them. And just to bake underneath my cheekbones, I like to grab just Blondie, and then I like to run it right underneath that, just to give me a little bit more definition. So we're gonna let that sit for about not even a minute. Because the concealers are full coverage, I don't want it to settle in too much. So we're just going to dust that off. You know the saying goes, there is a method to my madness. That's how I feel about my super glam makeup looks, and also trust the process. After I dust off all the excess powder, what I like to do is I like to go in with Fix Plus. This is gonna give you a less powdery finish because we are gonna go ahead and set the rest of the face. Next, going in with a little bit of this NARS Soft Velvet Powder. This is in the shade Mountain. I always love setting my foundation with a loose powder opposed to a pressed powder, because I feel like the foundation just looks better with a loose powder. Using a little bit of this beach bronze in the color Bronze by Urban Decay. And I'm going to be using this ColourPop F13 brush. I want to just warm the skin up a little bit more. So we are going to apply that right on top of where the cream contour went. So I usually don't like any cool tone bronzers because sometimes they turn really ashy. So this one in particular is actually a little bit of both. So it does have some coolness to it, but it's also warm at the same time, which I really like. This is going to be kind of like a transition to my darker bronzer that I'm going to use after this. When I tell you, you gotta trust the process, because now I don't look as fair as I did earlier. So once I'm done bronzing up my skin, I like to just run the brush through my whole entire face, just with whatever's remaining on the brush. I have a little bit of leftover powder on the Beauty Blender, so I'm gonna go back in and just kind of carve that out. Sometimes you lose a little bit of that definition. So we're just going to apply a little bit more and not even leave it there. We're just gonna apply it and then buff it out. Just to give me a little bit more definition, we're gonna be using this. This is the Take Home the Bronze by The Balm. And we're gonna pick up just a little bit on the tip of the brush, right underneath the cheekbone. Just like right there. I'm not even taking it anywhere else. I'm just leaving it there. We're gonna use the Beach Bronzed and the color Bronzed on the nose. Okay, so for blush, we're gonna be using this Pop of Blush Blush Trio by Morphe. And I'm gonna do this color right here that is called Sexy. I'm just gonna pop that at the apple of the cheeks. I was gonna highlight, but I'm gonna leave the highlight for last. So we're gonna move on to the eyes. So for the eyes, I brought you guys in a little closer. We're gonna be using the Jouer concealer that I use for my under eyes as my base. I actually been loving this concealer as my eyeshadow base. You guys know I love using fluffy brushes with eye bases because it just makes it so much easier, you know? Okay, so for this look, I wanted to bring out this very dirty palette. I'm gonna be using the Second Nature palette. This is what it looks like. It's really dirty, so excuse me. We're gonna start off by using this color right here, probably mixing it with this one. So these two together, and we're gonna apply that on the crease. And then we're gonna be using this Fenty Blending 210 brush. We're just going to apply that into the crease, bringing it in back and forth. We're gonna use this color right here to go in a little bit on the crease and on the outer corner. And we're gonna apply that with a more dense brush. This one is a Sigma Blending E25 brush. We're gonna apply that right on the outer corner and then just buff it into the crease. And I'm taking it up a little higher than normal. This is gonna give you a illusion of a bigger eye because you're focusing that product onto the outer corner and kind of giving you a mini lift by just focusing the color on the outer corner and then just bringing it up. So this look can easily be very helpful for somebody that has hooded eyes or a smaller lid space. This is just gonna give you like an illusion of like a bigger eye. So the more precise eyeshadow that you want, the smaller the brush is gonna get. So this one is a Morphe M506 brush. I love using this brush for detailed eyeshadow. We're gonna pick up this color right here and we are going to press it into the outer corner. I feel like I may have a little fallout. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to apply a little bit of translucent powder just right there. And I'm using the tip of that brush to apply and buff out that deeper color. First you want to use a patting motion and then buff out. And I'm putting a very light pressure when it comes to the outer corner because I don't want to deposit a lot of product. I want it to look very seamless. So I'm just gonna go back in with that first blending brush and just buff out any harshness. And do the same step that you did with the second transition. Bring it up, but don't bring it all the way in. And then just go back and forth with that same blending brush, And I'm not putting any product on that blending brush. I'm just using whatever I have there and then blending everything out. We're gonna go in a little deeper and we're gonna pick up the darkest shade that I have, because this one was the darkest, but it broke. So we're just gonna continue building that darker outer corner and then buffing it out with that same transition brush. So for the lid, we're gonna be using this Marc Jacobs. This is the Glam Glitter eyeshadows in the shade Sequence. It's like a wet eyeshadow. And then we're going to press it into the lid. It almost has like a holographic finish to it. Look at that. It's so pretty. And I'm just using a patting motion when I apply the eyeshadow. Like, oh my goodness. Look at that. It just gives, like, my lids are wet right now. No pun intended. What I am going to do is I'm going to go in with that blending brush. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go in with a clean blending brush and just blend everything together. For eyeliner, we're going to pick up my Razor Sharp by Urban Decay. We are going to do half a liner. We're actually not going to do a full liner, so I'm going to focus the tip in the center of the eye, and then we are going to kind of focus making the wing upwards. We have to do this step by step so it comes out even, and this is also a good trick to make your eyes appear larger. We're gonna apply a little bit of this Climax mascara by NARS. So for lashes, I actually just got this in the mail. This is the new Lily lashes, and this is what the package looks like. It's super cute. I've already taken a look at the lashes, but I wanted to share with you guys how cute this package was. I think this is very fitting, so I am going to be using MILF lashes. They are super flirty, full and long, so I think these are gonna be perfect for this look. I like to prop my lashes upwards just so they look a little bit more flirty and flared up. These lashes are so pretty. Okay, so for the bottom of my eyes, I'm gonna be using Lord It Up by MAC, and I'm just gonna run that through the bottom of my lash line. I typically don't like to smoke out my bottom lash line, but when I do like to use more of a brown undertone, just because I feel like it still complements my eyes and it doesn't make my eyes appear smaller. It isn't recommended to use on the waterline, but when do I ever listen? Going into my 27 palette by Melt, I'm going to be using this color called Downtown to smoke out the bottom of my eyes. We're going to just pick up any pencil brush and just buff that out. I love the red undertone to this eyeshadow. We're just going to grab a little bit of that Climax mascara and apply that at the bottom of our lash line. My right eye got a little irritated. I think it was some of the lash glue went in my eyes, so... but the show must go on. Moving on to the lips, we are going to be using this Perfecting Precision lip liner. This is in the shade Coffee. So for lipstick, I'm going to be using this Electric Feel, and this is by ColourPop. ColourPop's lipsticks are so creamy, but they're matte at the same time. On top of the lipstick, we are going to put a little bit of this Vivid Hot Lacquer by Maybelline. This is called Unreal, and it's going to mute down the lipstick a little bit, make it a little bit more mauve-y. So I wanted to save the highlighter for last because I think that you save the best for last. So we're going to be using the new Artist Couture. These are the Diamond Luxe Luminizers. This is in the shade Hot Damn. It looks like this. This is such a pretty highlighter. As you guys can see, I've been using it lately. Typically with any highlight, I always like to Fix Plus my face before I apply it, but with this, you don't need to because they're that creamy, they're that buttery, they're that intense. We are going to be using this Artist Couture AC03 brush. There. And this is just with one swatch. I like to press it in and buff it in and out. Just keep buffing it so it just looks like it's a part of your skin. But look at that. It is so pretty. That's with no Fix Plus. It's like the sun's on my forehead. So I went ahead and I did my hair. I changed, but I didn't like the way that the lip color looked with this whole look completed. So I actually pulled out this NYX Slip Tease lip lacquer, and this is in the color Camel, and we're just gonna change the lip color to that because I feel like this is gonna complete the look a little bit more. I love the applicator to these lip lacquers. The applicator definitely gives you a little bit more control of the application. So at first I thought they were a little weird looking because they're not like your typical applicator. It has like a round tip, and I just didn't think I was gonna like it, but I actually do. All right, everyone, so this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this full fall glam. I honestly love fall. I love the makeup. I don't like the weather necessarily because it's too cold for me. I'm a summer baby. I love the sun. I love to be sun-kissed, but I also enjoy a full fall glam. I paired this with my hair up, and I did a gold dress. This one is from House of CB. I'll also put it in the description box so you guys can take a look at it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Honey, you're so pretty, like model chili dove, something pretty. Fall glam, full fall glam, fall glam makeup look.